Coming up on the Wednesday, February 20th, 2013 edition of Size Eyes on the Skies.
We have a major winter storm moving into the area over the next couple of days. Later in your Iowa forecast, we'll be going over just how much we're expecting and when it's going to hit.
Plus, Colleen Mehlberg's in studio with the look at your national forecast and where the winter storm is now. Stay tuned. Size Eyes on the Skies starts right now.
It's Wednesday night on ISU TV. Broadcasting live from Ames, Iowa. This is Size Eyes on the Skies. ISU TV's longest-running television show brings you the weather around the country, in Iowa, Ames, and beyond. The Iowa State Meteorology Department's team of forecasters keeps you ahead of the next weather system. Size Eyes on the Skies starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Size Eyes on the Skies. I'm Corey Harguth and I'm joined by Colleen Mehlberg. Colleen, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good. Getting ready for this, like Sean just said in his intro, massive snowstorm. I believe those are the words he used.
Which would be correct. Some areas, especially in like Kansas, could see upwards to over a foot of snow.
Wow.
So that's a pretty good
I mean,
amount.
nothing like what we saw with, what they call it, Winter Storm Nemo?
That one that hit the Northeast?
Yeah,
Winter Storm Nemo.
Which we're going to go off on that here a little bit. This one, okay, well, first of all, for those of you that don't know, the Weather Channel actually decided to start naming winter storms this year. And this one is named Winter Storm Q. Just the letter Q. So
I don't know what reference that's from.
I believe it has something to do with the train lines in New York City or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. They've come up with some pretty interesting names.
So, I mean, we'll go back to the Nemo thing. I would not associate Nemo with a winter storm. I associate it with a Disney movie.
Yeah, same here, but who knows? They probably had some reason for it.
Whatever floats their boat, I guess. Because, yeah, it's not worth trying to figure out how they think. But, okay.
Exactly.
But now, this winter storm that's moving in, it has a massive winter storm warning on it already.
It does, and I'll be explaining this later in my segment, but you'll see these warnings that cover pretty much the middle section of the country. It is a massive amount of warnings.
Yeah, we'll just say this. The winter storm warning gives a lot of pink to the map.
Yes, it does. That's a lot of color to it, so the
All
country
right,
is definitely...
we'll look at that in just a little bit then. Thanks, Colleen. Sean Stelten is here now. You saw him just a little bit ago talking about the winter storm.
Yep,
so,
personally, here's my theory on the whole Q thing. They just got lazy.
okay.
I couldn't think of a good Q name.
Call it a quail or something.
Call it,
I don't know.
Winter Storm Quail. But yeah, no, nonetheless, it's still a major winter storm. It's going to be impacting us greatly here in the central part of Iowa and in fact, the rest of the parts of Iowa. But that's going to be moving in overnight tonight and into the day tomorrow and bringing a lot of snow to it. I've seen predictions of up to 1 to 2 inches per hour. That was put out by a couple of National Weather Service forecast discussions. But yeah, that's going to be what we're going to have to deal with.
Now the thing that we need to be aware of here is the fact that the timing has actually been bumped back several hours from what we talked about on Monday.
Yes. So what this could mean is it could be affecting the drive home commute a lot more than we were expecting. One thing that could happen for Iowa State is if it snows enough in a short amount of time, it could cancel later classes. But let's just hope that happens.
We are not going to... You didn't hear this from us, okay? So we're just making you aware, so be sure to just be checking the Iowa State page and all the other sources for that information if it were to happen.
And,
but
you know,
we're not calling anything
We're not calling
out by
it.
any
We're
means.
not calling it. We're just saying it may have, that could be a possibility. But with that said, let's take a look at the day planner. At 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're looking at a temperature of 16 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, and at that point in the day, the clouds will be just building. The snow will be starting to move in with winds out of the east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Hitting the noon hour, that's when the heavy snow is just going to start heading in. Winds out of the east at, again, 15 to 20 miles an hour, 21 degrees. And that snow will continue into the 5 o'clock hour with winds shifting slightly more north, still 10 to 15, and a temperature of 24, which will actually be our high for tomorrow.
So it looks like it's going to be an interesting latter half of the day tomorrow and into Friday. All right, thanks, Sean. We are going to kick it to our first break, but when we come back, Colleen Mehlberg's back with a look at your national forecast. Stay with us.
And welcome back. Let's take a look at your current temperatures across the nation right now. 26 in St. Louis, but even chillier in Minneapolis at a temperature of 15. But down in Texas, about 44. So pretty cool, mild temperatures across much of the country. And as we look at the highs that we reached this afternoon, got to 53 in Dallas, 26 in St. Louis, so still kind of consistent around there. And once again, Minneapolis is around 19. So still keeping it nice and chilly for us as we go into the day. Looking at clouds and radar, you can see where that storm system is, where the heaviest snow is in Kansas right now. Maybe some showers and maybe a little bit of a mix up into Arkansas. But as we take a closer look at the storm system, they'll be moving through our area here tomorrow and into Friday. You can definitely see, or maybe got a little bit of some ice and mix into northern Arkansas. And they will be under an ice warning here into the next day, so they could see maybe upwards to 1 inch to 2 inches of freezing rain. So those could definitely create some slippery and dangerous conditions on the roads. But like I said, you can definitely see that snow starting to push into Missouri, and that snow will start coming into us later tomorrow. Like I was telling Corey, you can see these warnings cover half the country pretty much. You can see pretty much right here you have winter storm warning across Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, and even us for much of it. And then as you can see in Arkansas, you have that ice storm warning, and that will be into effect into tomorrow. So definitely keep an eye out for those dangerous conditions. Futurecast for us, like I said, you can see that rain and the snow, maybe into Denver and through Nebraska. But as we move into tomorrow morning, that system, some heavier rain will start to move through up towards Missouri. A lot of times it can be mixed with some ice, maybe some snow flurries. And a lot of that heavier snow will once again be starting to move towards Kansas, maybe towards the Dodge City area. And then towards the evening, that's when the snow will start to move into our area. Start seeing some maybe heavier snow later in the afternoon. So definitely keep an eye out if you're walking around classes. Could get a little dangerous. But by Friday morning, that storm system starts to move off into our area to the northeast Iowa, and then it'll begin to taper off a little bit for us, so you might have a nicer, somewhat evening. Tomorrow's highs, though, 65 in Dallas, 30 St. Louis, a little bit warmer for us, and Minneapolis warming up to about 20 degrees. But if you want to get go away to a destination place, I don't recommend Paradise, Kansas, because for Kansas, that will not be paradise for them tomorrow, as they might get about a foot of snow. So as you can see, 90% chance for them, and on Friday that'll taper off for them, but as you move later into the week, it's still cloudy skies, but the temperatures will be nice and they won't have snow for the rest of the week. So that's it for your national forecast. We'll take it back to the desk with Corey.
All right, thank you, Colleen. They might be rethinking the name of that city by the time the storm is done. But let's go ahead and take a look at your trivia question for tonight. All right, what is minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit expressed in degrees centigrade? Is it minus 40 Celsius? Is it minus 15, 0, or 55 degrees Celsius? We'll take a look at the answer, plus get the update on the winter storm from Sean when we come back. And welcome back to Side's Eyes on the Skies. Let's go ahead and recap the trivia question for tonight. What is minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit expressed as degrees centigrade? Is it A, minus 40, B, minus 15, C, 0, or D, 55? And our answer is A, minus 40. That is actually the only temperature that is the same between the Fahrenheit and Celsius scales. So now it's time to send it on over to Sean to get the latest on Winter Storm Q. Sean, take it away.
Yes, thank you, Corey, and we will be getting to our winter storm in just a little bit, but we're going to take a look at current conditions right now out in Ames. 23 degrees with mostly clear skies, so you're going to be seeing that moon tonight. Winds out of the east-northeast at 6 miles per hour, and very, very low humidity, and dew point actually, for right now. Currently out around the metro area, Ames is sitting at 23 degrees, 23 in Ankeny, and 19 up in Fort Dodge. Generally, overall, mainly just pretty evenly spread throughout the metro area around the state of Iowa. Again, mostly in the lower 20s, upper teens, 19 in Fort Dodge, 23 in Des Moines, and 22 down in Ottumwa. Pulling out again and looking at our current temps around the region, we have 20 in Madison, 23 in Des Moines, 24 in Kansas City. Pretty much the same story. Overall, mainly in the lower to mid 20s, not much variation. Current wind chill, factoring in the winds a little bit, it's getting a little bit chilly around the areas, especially as this storm starts to move its way in. It feels like 12 in Lincoln, 14 in Kansas City, and 15 in Des Moines. Moving in and looking at our lows for tonight, though, only going to get down to about 15 degrees. That's not too bad. However, moving into tomorrow night, we will be looking at some colder temperatures, even into the single digits. Tomorrow's highs, again, 24 in Ames, 25 in Des Moines, and 22 over in Council Bluffs. Now, this is kind of a self-explanatory forecast. Pretty much snow across the region, with highs in the mid to lower 20s across the region as well. Current clouds and radar, here's Winter Storm Q, and it's kind of spinning up in the shape of a Q. Maybe that's why they named it that, I don't know. But right now, snow moving in this way. It's already snowing over portions of Nebraska and portions of Kansas. Now, these clouds aren't just disappearing. We actually use a visible satellite, so the sun has gone down, and that's why they're going away. So clouds will be building over the night tonight and into tomorrow morning. However, looking at your future cast, we're going to move you through tonight into tomorrow during the day, and here comes the snow, and it's just going to be snow everywhere, just snow all over the place. So as we move through the day, though, that snow is going to push through and slowly move its way out and eventually brings a little bit of clearing, meaning we'll see some clear skies at night on Friday night, but it's also going to be a little bit colder. So be watching out for that. It could also be windy, making those wind chills pretty bitter. Forecast snowfall for this storm, generally in the range of around 7 to 8 inches across the state. More as you go down towards Kansas and Nebraska. That's where the bullseye is, where they could see 12 plus inches of snow. But generally, we're looking at about 8 inches here in Ames and in Des Moines, maybe a little bit more down by Ottumwa. Forecast for tonight, though, partly cloudy skies, 15 degrees. Clouds will be increasing, and you better get ready for that snow, because tomorrow the snow is going to be here. It'll be heavy. It'll make for hazardous driving conditions. The winds will be picking up slightly. I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe even saw a couple blizzard warnings around the area, as long as those winds pick up enough. Winds will be mainly out of the east, though, at 15 to 20 with a high of 24 degrees. 7-day forecast, again, 100% chance of snow tomorrow, high of 24, low of 20. Then through the rest of the week, we're looking at mid to upper 20s and then moving into the 30s by next week. However, we could be seeing another winter storm moving in on early next week on Monday and Tuesday, but that's something we're going to be watching, and we're going to be looking for if that brings us a lot more accumulations or not, but that'll be a story for next week. So right now, we've got a winter storm to deal with. It's going to be bringing a lot of snow to a lot of areas, and it's just something that people need to be aware of.
Yeah, you see, now you could have saved yourself several words by just calling that Snowmageddon instead of snow. How many different times you said it?
A lot.
But then you would lose the entertainment factor.
Yeah.
Oh, you know,
Yeah.
I know you were looking forward to saying that.
Oh, yeah.
All day today.
Oh, I was. That's why it was
let you have
there.
it.
That's right.
Now, during your segment, you were talking about that huge warning. Now, you guys can hear what they're saying in the back. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe our producer, Justin Keller, said it looked like a pig eating bacon. Am I right on that? So, I don't know where he got that.
I guess
I
it
haven't looked at it that
does.
closely.
No.
It kind of looks like an egg more to me, because it's got like a center of like the winter storm stuff, and then it like branches out. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, it's a lot.
Exactly. No matter what ridiculous things our producers tell us, it looks like it's a lot of winter
a lot.
storm warnings.
Yeah, we'll just call it that. But
Yes.
I was told that, so I figured it's something that we needed to share.
Yes, definitely.
Because
Obviously.
he's just having a heyday back there tonight.
Yes, yes. And hey, we all are. It's snow. We've kind of seen that off and on throughout the winter this year, more than we had last. But for example, we've been without snow here in Ames for quite a while.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really any patches that much left out there.
No.
But yeah, that'll be bringing us a good amount of snow.
That's why I've been saying I should not be looking out my apartment window and seeing brown grass in the middle of February.
Exactly. I totally agree.
Well, come by tomorrow, you won't have that issue.
No,
'cause
I
we'll
don't think
plenty
so.
of snow.
I don't think so. But on the serious side, though, this system will make roads very dangerous to be out on. So if you do have to be out, be very careful.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, so other than that?
Other than that, I think we're going to go ahead and call it a night. So from all of us here at Size Eyes on the Skies, be safe with this snow, and we'll see you right back here on Monday. Good night. We did it.